After 5 years of medical school, countless hours spent studying in the library, many tears, many exams, and equally so many highs, come along for my very first week as a doctor with so much negativity in the media. Let's go and see what it's really like.
Just so chaotic. Hello my loves and welcome back to my channel. Gosh, it feels so weird to be saying that again. It's been the longest time since I've picked up the camera and I have so much to update you all on, but it's going to be my very first week as a doctor. As you can see, I have my scrubs on and we had a few days in the hospital last week and then we have a few more days this week doing more induction stuff, and I have ALS training today, and then on Wednesday is the big official start date. So I thought I had to bring you all along for what is going to be one of the most exciting, nerve-wracking, crazy, surreal weeks ever. But I will give you all a proper debrief on absolutely everything later on in the video, because I feel like we've gone from 4th year to Dr. Anna, but we haven't got time this morning because it is currently 6:45 on Monday. Got up nice and early, 6:15, so I could just get ready and sorted for the week. But like I said, we have advanced life support all day today, which if you were here from the beginning, then we did basic life support in first year, and that was all just very upsetting. I need to stop crying. Like, I just burst out in tears when I found out that I failed, and not how I wanted it to go. So I am feeling a little bit nervous for today. So I've been going through the training booklet and we'll have some skills, and then we've got a written test and I think a formal assessment of our skills as well over in the hospital. So I'm going to head straight over there now. Right, so we're gonna have to ignore the absolute state of me because I've had the most intense, stressful day ever. The ALS course is a lot, but I'm gonna get the best news out of the way first, that we have passed, and I'm just so happy. Honestly, BLS was just a very stressful experience, and to have passed the advanced one is like such a nice full circle. But anywho, it is currently 6 o'clock. It's ran over quite a lot, which I was expecting it to finish a little bit earlier. So I'm not going to go to the gym today. I'm going to go tomorrow. I'm going to tell my family the good news. Honestly, the way they do it, they have like stations. So you go through everything in the day, and then you have an hour written paper on everything, and then a assessed practical scenario at the end of the day. So I feel like right now my brain is going to explode, but we did it. We passed. So it's nearly 7 and I've just got back in and updated my family on everything, and now I'm just completely and utterly zonked, as you can probably see by the state of me. However, I came back to the most exciting package. There was this giant thing in the post for me, and it was my graduation photo, which, the cheek of me showing you this when I literally have the biggest stress spot right now. But all of my photos came. I ordered one of the packages with lots of different bits from my graduation, which feels like a distant memory now, but it was only 2 weeks ago, and it was just the most special day ever, really celebrating 5 years of medical school and becoming Dr. Anna. So that is really nice to have them, and I'm going to try and do a little bit of scrapbooking as well tonight. I've been trying to make a scrapbook of this year because it's just been a very special 2025. But anyway, right now, before anything else, I'm going to get some dinner to fuel my very tired brain.
Since starting, I've been really enjoying a combination of getting up nice and early to start the day with the gym, or going after work to fully clear my head and wind down. It just really depends on the day. Today I went before and had my lunch with some teaching before heading back to the ward for my last day of shadowing.
So it's just gone at 6 o'clock and I've just got back in from the hospital. I am so sorry. I feel like I've been so rubbish at vlogging anything going on in the hospital and what I've been up to. If I'm honest, I'm still a little bit nervous and just settling in properly to a brand new environment and lots of new faces, and really establishing what my new job is going to be like, really. However, that was the last day of shadowing done. I can't quite believe after tomorrow there'll be my patients, it will be the ward, and I'll be actually practicing as a proper doctor, which has been so long coming and still feels very surreal, but today we went to the ward to shadow the F1s there like we've been doing, and then we had Ray's training teaching, which was some lovely F1s who went over all their key tips and tricks and things that we need to know before starting, and then we had catheter training on the models before going back to the wards for basically a little handover from the F1s about everything that's been happening with the patients in the day and what we need to know before tomorrow. So that is it. That is my week of shadowing done. From tomorrow we go to collect the bleeps first thing in the morning and then just go straight to our normal working day. But anyway, I thought I would give you a little bit of an update quickly. So how F1 and F2 work is you apply to deaneries firstly based on a completely random generator that gives you a number, and then that same number that you get decides which hospital and which jobs you're going to be on. So fortunately I did get my first choice deanery, but I didn't get one of my higher jobs, so this isn't one that I would have necessarily chosen. However, I'm not going to spend the video explaining this properly because I think this needs a whole proper sit down video, and if you have any questions about anything at all, please do pop them in the comments or message me on Instagram. However, I do believe everything happens for a reason, and I've really enjoyed this hospital. Everyone is so friendly, and my first rotation is going to be endo and diabetes, and then I'm on the acute medical unit, and then lastly general surgery. However, endo and diabetes that I'm starting on isn't really endo diabetes at this trust. It is much more a general medicine ward with a little bit of endo and diabetes in there. So it's a really good one to start with, just to get to grips of actually practicing as a doctor. I start on 3 normal working days, which is 9 to 5, and then next week I'm on call, which I don't know why growing up I always thought that like on call was like I'm at home with my bleep and I can be called in whenever. It's really not. It basically means that you're doing something that's like not a normal working day, and you're on call because you've got the bleep in the hospital, or you're doing something slightly different. So next week I'm in 9 to 9:30, 4 days, and then off on Friday. So that is what I'm starting on. Some people start on calls or they start on nights. That's not the case for me, so I'm starting on that. But anyway, I'm not going to blabber on for much longer. I'm going to reply to some friends, do a few general admin bits. I wanted to go over some of our portfolio stuff like that, and then I'm going to have a really chilled evening and just try and relax really before the day tomorrow. I mean, I'm not going to try and make this a big deal in my head because we've been doing so much in preparation for this, and we've got this, like, positive affirmations. I am actually really looking forward to the role. Early night, good rest, ready to start properly as a doctor tomorrow. So that is the first proper day of being an FY1, being a doctor done. And I don't know if you can tell by the look of me, but I am absolutely exhausted and my brain is completely frazzled. To be honest, I'm struggling to string sentences together right now because it's been so chaotic. We picked our bleeps up and then went straight over to the ward and allocated patients to look after, and then we had a meeting at 1:30 for like a proper induction, which was very stressful because then there was only the F2 on the ward to come back to, and then I did some jobs in the afternoon and I did manage to get everything done kind of roughly on time. It's just weird. I just feel like I need to sit down now and just go through the day properly, kind of reflect on things, what went well, what didn't go well. I also just want to sort out my little notebook as well with like key points, because I'm currently just overthinking everything, and a lot of the stress is coming from not actually being able to do the processes, like for instance trying to make referrals, trying to do discharges, just things like that, because everything is paper at this hospital and I'm used to everything being electronic, and prescribing is paper charts as well. Everything is so different and I'm still just really getting my head around how to do all of these things. So I'm hoping once I've just launched myself in and done these things a few times, it's gonna get a little bit easier, because today I did really enjoy it. It was just very stressful, and I always hate not being able to do things and not feeling the most helpful, or having to ask questions like all of the time. I can't actually count how many times I had to ask someone how to do something or the process of something. But anyway, right now I'm going to sit down, just sort things out a little bit because my bag is carnage, and then get some dinner and have an early night. I mean, I basically think that's been this whole vlog. Hopefully you're getting a little bit of a flavour of what life is like now.
Because the days are so busy, I find it so helpful at the end of the day to wind down, just go through my little notebook, go through a few key clinical points and a few tips to myself before getting a very early night.
That is day 2 of being a proper doctor over. Hopefully you can actually hear me okay, because it is a little bit windy. I've just taken myself straight on a walk after work today, just to actually get outside, get some vitamin D. And I was tempted to go to the gym, but I'm thinking I'm going to go tomorrow instead and really enjoy the gym that I'm going to this year. I have treated myself a little bit and has a pool, so I'm going to do like a full gym pool because it's Friday, and then it doesn't matter if I have a slightly later night because it's the weekend. I actually had a really good day today. I really feel like, because I've done everything, not everything, I've literally hardly done anything, but because I've done a few things once now, not everything feels completely brand new and the systems don't feel as new, and I just feel like I got a bit more used to the environment. So I've just got back in from my very windy walk, but like I was trying to say, I did have a better day today. I've actually come home with a smile on my face, and I don't feel completely like, wow, what was that? I mean, I'm very sure this is going to be a very up and down process of getting used to everything, but I just feel like the things that I said I was going to do last night I have done, and they actually made a really big difference. One of which was to make sure that I actually introduced myself to all of the patients that I was looking after. I felt like the first day was such a whirlwind, and we were seeing the patients, but I didn't feel like I had a chance to really explain what my role was and what I was doing versus the consultants, seeing them and managing them. Really nice just to get some actual patient contact without doing admin jobs, which sounds silly, but a lot of F1 is doing little jobs, and often you don't actually get time to see the patient properly. And the second thing being these little loop earplugs. Now, you're gonna have to excuse mine because they are a little bit manky, but they just pop in your ears like this, and I've used them a little bit throughout revision and in libraries, but obviously it's such a silent space, versus I cannot explain how stressful it is trying to concentrate on the wards. Now, I'm not sure whether this is my dyslexia or just me as a person, but I literally need like silent focus to concentrate, and that is the polar opposite of what the wards are. So when I'm trying to do jobs like prescribing or doing discharge summaries, I find it really, really hard. So I've just been popping these in, and I always said to myself, I'm not going to be afraid to use them where I need them, and they have been absolutely game-changing. They've been so helpful. So I think that made a big difference, and also just going to actually take some lunch, having half an hour to just chill out and like process what had gone on in the morning. It meant that I could come back in the afternoon, do all my jobs and do it way better. It's now 6:30. I haven't got anything on this evening. I purposely blocked out this week as it was going to be chaos, and just to have nothing on every evening, just go to the gym and chill. So I'm now joining you much later. It's actually 8:30 on Friday, and I can't even remember whether I've even picked up the camera today. It has been that chaotic, but I'm currently sat in the gym car park. I took myself straight off to do some exercise after today, even though we did finish really quite late. I just felt like I had so much adrenaline in my body, and I just needed to sweat it out and properly decompress, and I'm now feeling a lot better. But that was 100% my most stressful day yet. We had 2 really acutely ill patients that I was looking after, and then all of the others to handle as well, and just the day-to-day bits that happen. And then also we didn't have anyone that wasn't like very senior, like a consultant or registrar, that knew the systems very well. So there was never anyone to ask about how to do like referrals, how to do certain things that you just need to know how to do. And now I've done a few of them, I am feeling a lot better, but there was just so much going on today. I can't even begin to explain. It was just so chaotic, and I just felt like I was running around constantly. I felt like I had jobs thrown at me and I wasn't getting through these things, and then there was a patient that wanted to go. It got to the end of the day and there was still so many things that needed doing before I left, and a lot of them, to be honest, I didn't quite understand how the technicalities of doing them actually work. Just something I really never thought of before coming as a doctor. But anyway, going to the gym, going for a swim has been perfect, and I would really recommend it to anyone. Just getting in some exercise is so important, and it's been a really lovely evening. So I'm now just going to head home. It is actually the weekend, which will be so nice, even though I don't think I'm going to end up doing very much apart from just going over a few bits, processing what has happened. And you know what, despite it being quite a stressful day to finish on, I'm actually really proud of myself. I'm just going to take a minute to, you know, celebrate the fact that I've got through 3 days of being an official doctor. And between everything, I have actually really enjoyed it. I just can't wait till I can actually do my best and I know things a little bit better. But little Anna would be so proud of where I am right now, and I'm just gonna enjoy the weekend and enjoy the fact that everything is learning and everything is on the road to becoming a better doctor, which is starting to feel a little bit more real now. But anyway, I'm gonna end the vlog here. I'm sorry if it has been not that exciting, a lot of me yabbering on. I feel like I have so much to update you on, so let me know what sort of videos you want to see, because I'm gonna make a real effort to just document this whole journey and get back to YouTube, because it's something I really enjoyed and was so passionate about, so I don't want to lose that. And seeing this little chapter is going to be so exciting. That's one word for it anyway. But yes, give it a big thumbs up if you did enjoy it, and if you are new here, definitely subscribe for all things medicine, study tips, lifestyle. I do love just a little bit of everything, and let me know exactly what sort of things you want to see. But I hope you all did enjoy it, and I'll see you all so soon in the next one. Bye.